thank you for letting me express my views on some things. Karen Kessinger, 1521 South Franklin Avenue, Covington. I am a retired teacher. I began my career in Covington High School in 1968. And I've been involved in education ever since. We came back to this area in 1997, and I taught at Covington and Boys Home. I've been with children my entire life, my adult life. So through 2017, so that's 20 years. Values used to be a very, very important part of education. And I'm looking at values go down the tubes right now as I watch the news. And I'm a Christian, and I believe in what God's Word says about how we live. And I know this is a Christian community, and once you teach kids, all kids are your kids. I had the pleasure of having Mr. Air at my class, and Ms. Fitzpatrick's daughter, and Ms. Preston worked with her homework helps after school for the last 2 or 3 or 4 years. Anyway, so I'm involved. I've got a paper here that I went to a forum last Sunday. Top of 5 offensive mandates in the DOE's treatment of transgender students policy. And I had so many red flags go up. I'm sorry. It says the following pages contain a compilation of screenshots, which I have on this paper, but anyway, from the VDOE's treatment of transgender students policies. These screenshots make it abundantly clear that adoption of these policies put local school boards and administrators like you all in grave danger of violating key constitutional principles, including parental rights, religious freedoms, and students' rights of privacy and physical safety. I thought that was very important. Litigation is currently pending that challenges the state's mandate for all K-12 schools to implement these policies in a way that is consistent or even more comprehensive than the DOE model policy that they have mandated. Evidence is provided on the following pages that the policy does these 5 things. These are the 5 offensive mandates. First of all, the mandate that the DOE sent down, it encourages schools to keep secrets from and outright deceive parents. Parents get in trouble if they let. Okay, kids can make a decision in school, it says in school, quote unquote, that they are one gender or another. And the parents are not allowed to know that. If somebody tells the parents, they're in trouble. A teacher could get fired if they tell the parents that. They say it's because the parents might abuse the child if they find out. But, excuse me, I think if I have a child, I'm the mother, that child does what I believe, my beliefs. Amen. Not the schools, no government. Number 2, it opens the door to the state punishing parents as abusers for simply expressing genuine concerns or deeply held religious beliefs. I think I just covered that. Number 3, it requires schools to jeopardize the privacy and physical safety rights of students. If a transgender boy comes into the girls' bathroom and my daughter or granddaughter goes in, she's going to be very uncomfortable. The transgender, we want to treat them with kid gloves and let them stay, but my child needs to go to the office and ask permission to use a neutral bathroom because she's uncomfortable. This is like 0.1%. How many people are transgender? Anyway, and I'm not saying that you love the person, but you don't care about what they're doing. I'm a science teacher. There's a boy and there's a girl. You got 2 X's or an X and a Y. And when you have a reveal party, you have a boy or a girl. Anyway, mandates, number 4, mandates that all school employees and students must use transgender pronouns or face punishment for discrimination. That's your teachers, guys. Without protection for deeply held religious beliefs. Number 5, it enforces school-wide protocol that crosses the line from mere harassment prevention, like Mike said, into state-enforced promotion of a politicized form of transgender advocacy. This tells you, this is a quote from that DOE initiative. Gender identity may be worn in a range such as transgender, non-binary, or gender expansive. Gender identity is considered an innate characteristic that most children declare by age 5 or 6. And the note is, teaching children as young as 5 or 6 that their gender is something assigned to them rather than being directly connected to chromosomes and DNA is scientifically inaccurate. I say stupid. I'm sorry. I'm really upset. And yet this is the assumption upon which the entire DOE policy is built.
That's right.
Parents should have the right to know if their young kids are being taught controversial, quote unquote, gender expansive concepts at school. And if my kids were in school today, I would be livid if that was happening. In order to promote a positive school climate where all students feel safe and supported, school divisions should incorporate regular education about transgender students into staff professional development and training. I'm not sure what GLS at the end stands for. In 2019 says, school divisions may take an inclusive approach by incorporating educational content that is transgender affirming. Affirming is that word again. We affirm them into the general education curriculum such as history, literature, and science. I taught creation, guys. I did not teach evolution. Okay? We don't, if it goes against God's law, we obey God. We don't obey man's mandates, especially the government. I'm sorry. For example, but the kids agreed. I said, who do you believe? Where did you come from? They all said God. And I said, I'm not here to change your mind. You know, we have, these people in this area have religious beliefs and we don't change those. That's not our job as teachers. Example, material may feature or include transgender people or highlight the contributions of LGBTQ plus people in state and history curricula. It says this policy spells out the expectation for transgender advocacy to be incorporated into every part of school life, including professional development and training, and the general education curriculum, including science. So if I say you're a boy or girl because you've got two X's or an X and a Y, then am I a liar? Is the science teacher a liar? Hello, you know, that puts us in a tough place. And I know I'm right. Okay, I have science today, so, right? It even recommends schools remove any indication of gender from general education forms and data. So my question, I have 3 questions, and I know you probably can't answer them. I read where the teachers have to go through a cultural, it's not CRT anymore, they call it a lot of different names now, a cultural competency training session. I would like a syllabus of that. I think we all would like a syllabus of that. What are they teaching teachers to teach our kids? We need to know. We're the parents, grandparents.
So, Ms. Kessinger, is that in relation to the transgender?
Yes,
or
the cultural competency training that they have to.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of covering CRT and transgender.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I was checking.
I signed up both of them on there. They kind of over it themselves. But we would like to have a copy of that. Would you be able to provide that for us? Is that Freedom of Information Act?
That is still being developed by the Department of Education, and I have checked into that with the VDOE. It's not available yet, but we can make it available when it is ready for folks to know about it, because it is something we have to do as far for our staff. So it's not developed yet. No syllabus is ready.
So I had to go through that when the family life curriculum came out.
Right.
Forward.
I believe it's going to the Board of Education in November or December, so it might be a couple of months before we have that syllabus on that curriculum.
And I also want to feel confirmed that you guys have read and understand House Bill 145 and Senate Bill 161 that was enacted by the 2020 General Assembly. And I pray that you choose to honor God with your implementation of these policies that the state sent down, that you implement godly principles in our school system. Thank you.
Thank you.